What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Perdition Temple, entitled Sacraments of Descension. This is released on Hells Headbangers Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Tampa, Florida, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very fast, dark, blasphemous hybrid of both death metal and black metal. Yeah. Perdition Temple is primarily one of the many side projects of Gene Palubicki, whom you may know best as the guitarist of the great Angel Corpse. He is an absolutely skilled, ruthless, talented guy, absolutely knows what he's doing. He can absolutely ride up a storm when it comes to crafting really great guitar riffs, and Perdition Temple is another one of his really awesome projects. Of course, there seems to be always a long gap in time between Perdition Temple full lengths, and with long time gaps come different sorts of lineup changes. Of course, the first Perdition Temple album came out in 2010 with Edict of the Antichrist Elect. Really awesome debut full length. Love the energy, love the pace, love how great things worked on that record. And then in 2015 was the last time we had heard a full length from them with The Tempters Victorious. That was probably the most stacked lineup when it came to Perdition Temple, because you not only had the likes of Ronnie Palmer and Bill Taylor doing guitars, but you also had Impure Wrath from Black Witchery on vocals for that record. Really, really great stuff. And definitely something I can think about a lot when I saw them live many years ago at Hell's Headbash 2 in Ohio. Really awesome, fun performance, but really more of an excuse for Gene Palubicki to shine and show why he's one of the best modern current death metal guitarists. But fast forwarding to now in 2020, and Perdition Temple has undergone somewhat of a major downsizing from being a five-piece band to just being a trio, with Gene Palubicki on guitars, Ronnie Palmer once again being the drummer, and the inclusion of Alex Bloom as their bassist vocalist. Of course, if you know Alex Bloom, you know him best for his work with Ares Kingdom and for another Gene Palubicki project with Blasphemic Cruelty. When I found out that Alex Bloom was joining Perdition Temple, I was really interested and curious to see how his sort of dynamic would work in a crazy and frenetic project like Perdition Temple. And now here we are with the third Perdition Temple full-length entitled Sacraments of Descension. It's 8 tracks, and it clocks in at around 34 minutes in length, and pretty much listening to this album, you can already tell that this is Perdition Temple business as usual. You're going to get a very fast-paced, breakneck speed sort of record, and there is just a lot to take in here, but for what it's worth, this is a fun and entertaining album, and definitely something recommended if you are into the Floridian style of death metal. There is a lot of great stuff to be going on here. From the moment you hear the opening riffs of Nemesis Desecration, you already get a glimpse of what type of hellfire you're going to get with an album like Sacraments of Descension. And throughout the majority of this album, this is definitely more reason why Gene Palubicki rules. And his guitar playing on here is just immaculate and top-notch. Hearing tracks like Nemesis Desecration and then moving later on to tracks like Eternal Mountain, Crypts of Massacre, Red Reaping, just a lot of really great and dynamic riffs going on here. Very well played, very well laid out, very well executed. This guy knows exactly what he's doing, and he definitely makes every riff on this entire album that much more important and devastating to listen to. The bass work on here is very good, definitely very well produced. This is definitely a clean sounding album. You definitely get to hear all the riffs and all the bass in its glory, and I definitely think that this bass tone is very well played too. When it comes to the drums, it's a pretty fast-paced drum performance. Ronnie Palmer is a really good drummer, and on this album, you definitely see why he's so fast at what he does here. Very blast beat heavy, a lot of double bass, a lot of fast momentum. There really isn't a dull moment to be heard on this album, and Ronnie Palmer makes sure that his drum performance makes things fly by that much quicker. It's a really frenetic drum performance, and it's only something someone like Ronnie Palmer could cook up. And when it comes to the vocals, I think this is definitely one of the best vocal performances I've heard on a Perdition Temple record to date. Alex Bloom is just so wicked and charismatic when it comes to his vocal deliveries. It's very throaty, very rough, very evil sounding. Of course, he did great stuff with Blasphemic Cruelty, but here on Perdition Temple, he is shining very, very well here. Really awesome vocal performance, very awesome delivery. Definitely makes you pay attention. He definitely has a lot of charisma and attitude with this vocal performance here. So overall, this is a pretty solid Perdition Temple record. If you're into anything this band has done previously, I really think you would probably enjoy this one a lot. I wouldn't know where to put this album in terms of it being their best, or if it's their second best or third best or whatever, but it's a fun record. It's your meat and potatoes death metal, but these guys know exactly what they're doing here, and it's a fun album to listen to. So, if I had to think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Nemesis Desecration, Desolation Usurper is another really top-notch track, Crypts of Massacre, and Red Reaping is another really top-notch track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Perdition Temple Hells Headbangers Bandcamp page where you can listen to this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy being purchased or not. You can stream it digitally, and it is available physically in a wide multitude of physical formats: CD, cassette, 12-inch vinyl. There's definitely more than one way to get a hold of this album. So again, the album is Sacraments of Descension by Perdition Temple. This is released on Hells Headbangers Records. Definitely check this one out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a pretty solid 8.5 out of 10. Very solid Floridian death metal going on here. If you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and how you think it compares to the previous Perdition Temple releases. Or any of you guys into Perdition Temple, definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Armijo out.